Hey everyone, Chris Haddon, Jason Balin, co-founders of hardmoneybankers.com and REI360.net, here with a cool show. Today, we are discussing the 4 laws of content marketing. And just in case you don't know what content marketing is, anytime you make a piece of content about your business, it could be a blog post, social media post, video, audio, podcast, the list goes on. That's what content marketing means, just in case you weren't aware.
We've been very aggressive in content marketing over the last few years. We wanted to make sure we were supplying very high quality content on a consistent basis to all of our audience. And we have, like Chris said, the 4 laws that we follow. Check it out right now.
Law number 1, always, always, always provide value for your audience. And it'll take a little time to get used to that if you are making content currently. It's not all about you and your company and what you guys are up to and here's the deals we close and here's how cool we are. It can be a little bit about that, but it's mainly about whatever is going to help your viewer or listener or reader in their business, whatever they do.
That's right. I mean, you're the expert in this. It doesn't matter if you're selling windows, selling real estate, flipping real estate. Doesn't matter what industry that you're in, there's content out there available that you are the expert on, that you can provide value to your audience, to your followers, to your clients, to your customers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, think about your customer. Think about your archetype, or like your avatar, your standard ideal customer, and what would help them. And then think about how to make content that you're the expert in and provide it to them. And it's surprising that I still see so many companies that can't just stop talking about themselves.
Yeah.
You see it all.
Everybody knows you're good at what you do. That's why you're in business. Yeah. But that doesn't mean you need to show that off to everybody. And if you do it, do it in doses, obviously.
Yeah.
But
can't be your only
there's the what's in it for me, right? Mm-hmm. If somebody's going to go to your website where they're going to find you, what's in it for them? And a lot of the time it's not necessarily price. That just may be something that comes in the door. But the people that buy from people are the ones that are providing value after value after value. And there's so many other kind of long tail things that can stem from good quality marketing. But You get the point. You're the expert, and you want your clients to also look up to you as the authority figure in that industry, of the person that knows the most about it. So when they're ready to buy, they know, you're the expert. You're the one in front of them. Cool. Absolutely. So let's go through number 2 of our laws.
Law number 2 is keep it consistent. If you can only do this kind of content marketing once or twice or thrice, that's not going to do a whole lot for you. You're not going to get the results from that. And we were talking to a friend recently who had this super complex plan on how he was going to make the content. It was a real estate friend, and we could just tell, like, that ain't going to last, man.
That's going to last 2 times.
That's going to last 2 times. That's too hard. You have to keep it consistent. You have to keep it simple in order to do so.
So first off, to get started, it's very easy because you already know the content. You're pretty much just unloading your brain, and what you may think it's 101, but for the average person, they don't know. You're the expert in it. They're not. So they need that 101. So it's easy. It's free for the most part to start because it's just content. It doesn't cost you anything. This is the one type of actual marketing that you can get eyeballs on it that is for the most part free or very inexpensive.
Very good point.
Very inexpensive to start. And like Chris said, consistency. There's no point of setting up any system, any content piece, anything, just like any type of marketing for that matter, that you're only going to do once. So,
no point.
It makes sense to wrap your brain around how you're going to deliver your message and some of the content that you're going to provide for people, so you can keep it consistent. It may be like we do our show at the same time every Wednesday. I'll give you a quick.
Well, with the exception of today.
Yeah, we had a power outage, so we had to start a little bit later. But like if you followed one of my private money minutes that I do 2 to 3 days every week. I'll tell you my blueprint.
Link that up.
My blueprint behind it. It's super easy.
Super simple.
Come up with the title, and I come up with 3 bullets: 1, 2, and 3. And within 1 minute to 2 minutes, I can deliver that message.
Yeah.
My
right
target
on your laptop.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. I write on my own laptop with my earbuds in. It's super simple. 3 comments. My target audience is real estate investors, so I don't go too crazy because the average content piece you want someone to consume in one sitting, and it's very easy. Automatically gets uploaded to YouTube and it's done, just like that. And this year alone, I've had 57 shows already, and it's only been in a few months. So
yeah, and it's not that much heavy lifting.
Yeah.
Yet super effective and super valuable for the audience.
Exactly.
All right,
Cool.
Number 3.
Okay, so number 3, which is a very powerful one that you really need to engrave in your heads, is every eyeball counts. Doesn't matter if it's one person, 1,000 people, 1,000,000 people viewing something, every single eyeball counts, right?
Everyone has value.
And you know, we've always been a little, I don't know, what's the word, sometimes upset related to on an individual show that we may only have like 100 viewers. It's like, we spent a lot of time on this and a lot of work. We really poured our hearts out on this, and we only had 100 views. Well, guess what? 100 views times dozens of hundreds of thousands of content pieces equals a heck of a lot of eyeballs.
Even the eyeballs on that one show, magic can happen in those 100 people who check it out. I mean, that could turn into a huge client. It could turn into some other media and content related stuff. It could turn into all kinds of stuff. So saying like, there's no point to me doing it because I only have 18 likes on Instagram isn't valid.
Yeah.
And that's the excuse that most people are making. And it's just, it's not the case. In addition to those eyeballs being so important, well, it's also just part of the road to being big is starting small.
Yeah.
So again, my social campaigns aren't big enough, so I'm not going to do it. Not valid. You're probably saying that right now. Many people are.
It's a snowball, just like any other snowball that we always talk about. It starts at one content piece with one viewer, and then it moves all the way up, all the way up, and then you have hundreds and hundreds of archived content pieces.
Yeah.
So, okay. So number 4, which is probably the most important, is, if for a few different ways, is be yourself. You be yourself, kind of stick to what you are. Don't go on stage or in front of a video and be all upright or try to be prim and proper. Like, be who you are. If you need to cuss. That's you can't hide from who you are, and people are going to love you for who you kind of create your avatar behind. So that's an important thing, and also stick to the topics that and in your business. I believe that to be powerful. And one of our producers just jumped in and said, make sure you're worried about width and not depth. So like, for instance, make sure you're not just throwing out ton of content, crappy content that isn't even all that relevant. It makes sense to put really, really good quality content so you have the same viewers following you over and over, and they can't wait to open up that next video or that next blog post or that next article that you wrote because they're so excited to know what you're going to talk about next.
Yeah, and this is something that I would say tech people and entrepreneur world is better at, being yourself inside of your content than real estate. And a lot of our people are real estate, and this applies to them a lot. Real estate agent world is super guilty of that, and we have a good example with a friend of ours. So traditional, I'm glad you made that like stiff thing, because the traditional realtor thing, the whole like
skinny arm side job.
Yeah.
I mean, that was 1985. You don't want to make content out of that, like that news anchor from the other day. You want to be a real person, and a good example of that is our friend who's a real estate agent and who makes awesome content on Snapchat and YouTube type stuff. Her video stuff is her best for sure, and it's great. I mean, she's just personable and awesome, and like you want to hang out with her and everything else, and that flows right into the content marketing for a real estate business. If she was just like been doing this 22 years, I mean, that doesn't fly. That's going away fast. And
exactly,
it's kind of hard to do because you do just want to, like, it is kind of an instinct just to get up and be a pitch man a little bit. Like, that's the first for a lot of people.
Yeah, and keep in mind, it doesn't have to be video. If you're scared to jump in front of a video, write content, write blog posts, do other types of things. But the challenge that I'm going to give you right now is create one content piece or one content category that you can create into multiple consistent sectors. Let's just say every Friday at 12 p.m. you need to release a content piece. And there's plenty, and we'll list maybe below this video. If we get somebody to comment that says they want it, we'll list it. But it has to be a few different, we'll list a few different content pieces related to articles or like a meme or videos, any kinds of things. There's a lot of different things that you can add to marketing. So
yeah, good call. Show it to us. Show it to us in the comments. Good
Cool.
call. We'd be happy to take a look, see how you're doing yours.
Cool. So as always, we certainly appreciate you following us, watching these videos. We put a lot of time into it and a lot of energy, and we're really passionate about it. And this is one of many different content pieces that we release on a regular basis. So as always, we hope you enjoyed it. Like, comment, share. If you have any questions, feel free to always do so below. We're here for you. And again, we'll see you next Wednesday, because on this show, that's our consistency. Every Wednesday, same time. See you then.
Later.